What is up, everyone? The breaking news, of course, is that Fred Warner has signed his extension, 5 years, $95 million, plus $40.5 million guaranteed. Whoo! We knew they were going to get it done. I mean, we did. We knew they were going to get it done before training camp. I hope you guys watched Alex's short. It was kind of fun. Just the natural reaction to what happens when Fred Warner gets his deal. But this is big time. This is what we needed to happen. The 49ers needed this to happen. They needed this to get done. But it's just like they did with George Kittle, right? They got this done. It was definitely mandatory, Luke. It definitely was mandatory to get this move done. And they got it done. And that's what we needed, what we wanted. And now, they're set. They're set on offense. They're set on defense. They got the guys that they need. Three of the best players in the NFL locked up. You got Trent Williams on the offensive line. You got Fred Warner at linebacker. And then you got George Kittle at tight end. So this was too big. Fantastic. I love it. This is the move that we needed to make happen, and they got it done. Actually got it done a week earlier than expected. I kind of thought it was going to happen a lot closer to training camp, but getting it done is what the 49ers are about. Their front office now has proven that they take care of their own guys, and so now these players can feel confident and feel good when they're going to bring players in that they know that the 49ers are going to look to bring them back and just make things good on everything. So this was something the Niners were going to do. They always were going to do it. I don't think we saw the push for the pay Fred Warner as much as we saw last year for George Kittle. I think a lot of people were more nervous last year than they are this year. But nobody didn't expect this to happen at this point. So it's a big move for them. It is big money. Yeah, I mean, I think, Luke, the big part of it was getting this done before Darius Leonard got his contract. If Darius Leonard, could have blown it out of the water, it could have caused more issues for the 49ers, maybe price them out, but it didn't. He just got it done, and that's what's nice about this deal is they got it done before Leonard. What's up, Tommy? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. I had to go live. I had to talk about this. I wasn't going to be able to just sit back and not do anything. We have a video coming out at 11, but this had to be talked about up until then because it's just too big. I mean, when you lock up a player like this, when you get something done, a move of this magnitude, I mean, he's going to be here now through 2026, so we know what the defense is going to look like. It's always going to be manned by the guy in the middle, so that's nice. And it's also lets you know what their money is going to look like in the future. So that's what's awesome about this move is everything starting to be painted as far as a picture is painted to what the seasons are going to look like in the future, what the salary cap is going to look like in the future, how much money now he is going to demand, how much money you have to spend. This was the big move that needed to happen. So this is awesome. 49ers get it done, get Fred Warner locked up. So now that point is done, and we can move on to training camp. They can go into training camp not worried about this. This doesn't hang over their head, but they get it done. Boom. 5 years, $95 million. Congratulations to Fred Warner for just getting absolutely paid. You've got to love that. You got to love him just getting absolutely paid. So I really like it. I mean, what does everyone else think about this move? Do they think it was a great move? Do they think 49ers paid too much? I'm kind of curious what everyone else thinks. So let me know if what you think about it. But pretty much everything I've seen so far is good reviews, right? Everyone is very excited about, getting Fred Warner locked up. I know I'm happy. I had a Fred Warner jersey last year, Fred Warner sweatshirt last year, so I don't have to replace those at all. So that makes it nice. Yeah, Tommy, he's going to be making a lot of money. I don't know exactly how the breakdown is going to be per season. I'm sure it's going to kind of, be work up and down. Once those figures are out there and released, then we'll really be able to break it down. We'll probably break it down on Friday, what those numbers look like per year, and then see how they've maneuvered it to compare to other players that they have on the roster. So that way, everyone's not up at once. But I mean, now they've got big money tied into Armstead, Fred Warner on defense, and then they still got George Kittle, Trent Williams on offense with big money, and of course Jimmy Garoppolo. So they have a lot of big money, contracts now locked up, but they've locked up their core guys as well. Yes, Robert Davis, he is the best linebacker in football. That is not a question. 100%. He is the best. He can do it all. And he's probably going to get even better this year. So we're not even paying him for what he's done. We're paying him for what he's going to do in the future, which you don't always get to say with a lot of players, but with him, you can. He's that good. He's great in coverage. You had to do it. I mean, you had to do it. Just what was the money going to be? And it obviously wasn't as bad as I think it could have been. I think with if they would have came out after Leonard's deal, it could have been worse. Now the Colts have to pay the piper because they're going to have a deal that makes him the highest paid linebacker in the NFL, and that's when it really starts hurting you, is when you've got to one up somebody else. So I mean, getting it done right now is important. Twofold. Number one, you beat Leonard, you beat everyone else, so you get that contract done. You know what you're dealing with. And then second of all, you just don't want this kind of thing hanging over your head. Fred is not going to hold out. That's not the kind of guy he is. He's always going to come. He's going to be busy in camp. He's going to get work. He's going to make sure everyone around him is playing well. But you just didn't want it hanging there. He gets hurt, something like that is terrible. So you want to make sure that this guy is feeling comfortable, locked up, and this is out of his mind. All he has to do is focus on football. Now the team can focus on football. So good deal to see that they got this done. Now everything else will come. Tommy, I saw $40.5 million guaranteed. So I don't know if it's 45, but that's what I had seen. That's what was being reported. Of course, nothing is confirmed until we get, the actual figures from the 49ers. That's usually how it rolls. But $40.5 million is what I've seen. Let's see. Robert Davis, all the more reason. Jittery Jimmy, they can't afford $25 million backup. You know what? This year, I think they can. I think they can afford it if they want to. They can keep it going. Even with Jimmy Garoppolo, on the roster, they have definitely figured out how to make this work. I'm sure Parag has figured out how to make this money work for this season. Next year, Jimmy Garoppolo's money will come off the books. It's going to happen. They have to have the money to be able to re-sign other players, maybe even some contract extensions, in the future to spread out money, especially with somebody like Jimmy Ward. That's going to come. Laken Tomlinson might come off of the books now next year. It could be Jalen Moore's time to shine at guard next year, or and him and Aaron Banks. So there's going to be moves, and this is going to kind of. It won't make any moves happen right now, I don't think. I don't think they're going to make any moves yet with the roster. I think they're pretty set. But next year, there will be corresponding moves. They'll have to make people restructure, or they'll have to move people, and then who they bring back, they're going to have to be a little bit smarter with it. But they have a plan. They've been executing this plan, so we can't be mad about that because they're doing a really, really good job. Yeah, exactly, Robert. He is the quarterback on the defense. Great to have him do that. Yep. I mean, so we've got about let's see, we've got close to 10 minutes until the other video. But I'm on here. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them. I think it was just too exciting not to come on live about Fred Warner getting that contract extension. But 95 for 40.5 is not outrageous compared to what I was expecting. It's kind of in that wheelhouse. It's what we were expecting from the 49ers. But good up on John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Parag in this front office for making sure that they took care of one of their own. Make sure that you can pay your own guys, build around the best players in football. I think a lot of 49er fans would have really, really, really been upset if he would have, left. If he would have been gone, could have been huge. Of course, they could have always, waited and put the franchise tag on him and paid him, highest, some of the highest money for a linebacker in football. But going ahead and making sure that you do this, it also just proves to your players that you're going to take care of them in the long run, that they can trust you when you're negotiating. You do everything in good faith. That's one thing about this front office. They often are said about, or is said about them, is they're very transparent about how they handle things. So that's what's nice, is they handle things the right way. They tell you exactly what they're thinking. Whether it's right or it's wrong, they're going to tell you, hey, yes, we're going to have you here in the future, or no, we're not going to have you here in the future. They have been transparent with Tom Brady, or about Tom Brady with Jimmy Garoppolo. They were transparent about Matthew Stafford. All that Jimmy Garoppolo knew. I mean, was he happy about it? Absolutely not. But the one thing that he can come out, and that's why their relationship stays the same, is because one thing you can get out of it is that you can trust these guys to tell you the truth even when it hurts. Not a lot of organizations are like that, and so that transparency is important. Uh, Kyle Neely, that is a steal. The highest is going to be his fifth highest paid by next year. Yeah, I think it's right away the market changes as soon as one guy gets a deal, then everyone else starts getting a deal. So it's not that bad. It's near Bobby Wagner's money is what I've heard. We'll see how it plays out when it's the per year salary is what I'm really interested to see. Right now we only have the brass tacks figures, but once it gets to that, then you'll really be able to tell kind of how they handled it and where they were at with it, which that makes all the difference in the world. How much he's getting this year, how much he's getting 2022, 2023, and so on as you get to 2026. And then what are the years where the guaranteed money drops, because those are the years where either they need to extend him or they can move on from that contract if needed. Those are always things that are built into this these deals by Parag. So it will be well thought out and really planned out, because they don't do anything without purpose. I mean, they really do. They do everything with purpose. So that is what's nice. We don't have to worry about that. Fred Warner is locked up for the future. He's manning this team. He's taking care of this team. He's putting everyone in the right positions. He's the captain of the defense. And we needed that. We really did. We needed that on defense. We lost with the loss of Sherman. You lost veteran leadership. Fred takes over already, but Fred is the man, and we don't ever have to worry about it for the next 5 years. We know that this defense is taken care of. D'Amico Ryans and Fred Warner together is going to be a dynamite, grouping and pairing. Now here in the next couple years, they got to worry about signing Nick Bosa, and that's a whole nother animal. But for right now, we can be super, super happy that they brought in Fred Warner, signed him to his extension, and got him comfortable in time for training camp. Which, I mean, congratulations to the 49ers. Congratulations to Fred Warner and his family for getting this done. I'm excited to see this deal get signed, and then just see the excitement on his face and the relief. What's up, Gary? I'm glad you jumped on. Glad to see everyone on the stream right now. We got about 5 minutes more until I'm gonna go off, but if you have any questions about this, go ahead and drop them. I'll answer them, whatever you want to hear. But I just keep thinking about the fact that the 49ers needed to lock up the centerpiece of their defense, and they did it. I don't think there would have been any question, when we had the other guys like Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, that we were going to pay them because we wanted to keep them around. And there was no even question that we needed to bring Fred Warner back. None whatsoever. Fred needed to be here, and we got it done. And people can say whatever they want about the way that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch handle things, as far as they don't tell the media anything, they don't leak anything. But the one thing that people can never say is that they don't take care of their own, and they don't handle business when they need to handle business. And I like that about these guys. It's not a big hoopla. They don't make a big deal about it. They don't go out there and say, "Oh, we need to do this. We need it." They always just are very matter of fact about how good Fred Warner is, how much they appreciate him, or George Kittle, and that they're working towards doing something. And then you don't hear anything, and then all of a sudden, boom, out of nowhere, here's the deal, here's the money. You don't hear a lot of back and forth. Agents having to talk to the media. That stuff doesn't happen. They trust the 49ers organization, and that's a good sign for us, because it is not easy to run a team in California with the fact that there's so much taxes and everything like that going on. It is not cheap for these players. The taxes and stuff is something you have to work around. But if you have a great organization that can take care of you, and then you can also win, then players are more likely to jump in. and go into it because they know they'd rather be in that good position. Lose a little bit of cash, but they can get it done. Actually, Tommy, yes, I am a Scorpio. I don't even know how you knew that. But yes, I am. That is off topic, but yeah, that's kind of funny that you would say that. Um, yeah, I don't think any of these other teams in the NFC West are happy to see Fred Warner get his extension because now they know they have to deal with him, 2 times a year for the next 5 years, which isn't something I think they were ultimately looking. Um, Yes, Kyle Neely, he really did just ask my sign. If he asked me to dinner, I would probably go because let's be honest, Tommy is a chef and he knows about food, so I don't mind the food so much as you can tell. So that wouldn't be such a bad deal. But 100% great move by the 49ers. Bringing this guy in is what you had to do, needed to do, important to do, and now they can move on to other things and other positions that they need to handle and get taken care of. We can get to all these position battles that are going to happen in training camp, and we know that this defense is locked up and secure at least for the near future. Nick Bosa's coming up at some point, and we will worry about that later. But they won't even talk about extension with him until not this year, but next year. You could possibly hear them talking about extension, but they still have that 5th-year option, which I'm sure they'll use on Bosa. So, we've got a couple more years before Nick Bosa becomes, kind of the big one that we need to talk about going into that training camp, obviously. Thank you, Luke. Yes, sleepy eyes. I would have came on sooner, to be honest with you. I worked last night, so I literally woke up a little bit earlier than I should have because I got the Fred Warner news and I wanted to hop on here. So I haven't been awake long, but I got on here long enough so that way I could talk to you guys before the video came on. So thank you, Luke, also for the super chat. We really appreciate it. Jay in the Bay, let's go. That's right. What is up, Jay? It's huge for the 49ers getting this done. I think everyone that's a 49er fan really appreciates this move, appreciates Fred Warner in general. And if you guys haven't checked out the short with Alex, go ahead and check out the short with Alex. It's pretty funny. It's his reaction and everything to Fred Warner. What's up, Jason? Sorry you missed the beginning. It was kind of impromptu, of course, right? I just jumped on, went live, really no notice about it. I just wanted to talk about Fred Warner. Fred Warner is my favorite defensive player on the team, which is crazy hard to say because Jason Verrett I actually coached against. So knowing everything about Jason, I like Jason a lot, but Fred Warner is a special player. I just like the way he handles business. He's business-like. He would have fit in very nice in all the teams that the 49ers have had in the past, just because it's a business approach and it's all about winning championships. He knows that the personal things are going to take care of themselves. Everything's going to take care of itself, just like it did right now. He puts that out there, but it's because he puts everything in perspective, and he's trying to win that Super Bowl, and that's his grind. And when you got guys like that, him and George Kittle now, the leaders of this team, they are the two guys that are the face of the franchise. They're gonna help lead you that way. So that's what's nice to have is these guys that are buttoned up and ready to go. They play with exuberance. They play with excitement. They get your team going. We have leaders on offense and defense now that are going to lead us into the future, and that is very important. We now have the best left tackle, the best linebacker, the best tight end in football, and if Nick Bosa does what I think he could do this year, he's going to prove that he's the best or one of the best defensive ends. So these guys together is fantastic. Let's see what else. What do we got going on over here before I hop off? Let's see. Tommy's laughing about some stuff, of course. Yep. So, yes, I'm not wearing a tank top in a mirrored image. No tanks for me. No buff guy tanks for me. I don't do that. But that is a funny comment, Gary. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. His mentality is fantastic. So I'm gonna stay on here for about 1 minute, and then I'm signing off because you guys need to go hop over and watch our battles Our position battles that's coming up: Emmanuel Mosley, Ambry Thomas. This is a good video coming up. It's a good position battle to watch. So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for jumping on the stream right now, talking about Fred Warner. We're going to talk about this more once the numbers get released. And once those numbers get released, then we'll come back and break it all down. I think that'll happen on the Friday's live stream. We'll get to you about all that stuff. Lots of cool stuff. Thanks everyone for jumping into the live stream. What is up, Fable? I'm glad you got it. Got in here. So everyone, have a good one. Make sure you enjoy the day. Jump onto the video right now, and I'm going to jump on there too. See you guys all on the next one. We are out. See you guys later.